Good morning, Bogotá and One Young World. It is a real honor and a pleasure to speak with you this morning. This short talk is for those of you out there that know that you want to do something meaningful, but perhaps you don't yet know what it is that you want to do, or even how it is that you're going to go about doing it. Perhaps you're enjoying building a successful career, and you've worked hard at that. The point is, you don't have to make a decision. You can have it both ways. You can build a successful career whilst doing good. And, in fact, by working on a meaningful initiative, whilst working for an organization, we believe it can actually increase the impact of your initiative. Things happen faster. Your collective voice will be louder. And if you harness the power of your organization, the scale of your impact can be so much greater.
So, like yourselves, in 2014, we were sat in Dublin at One Young World, having been sent by Johnson & Johnson, our employer, to bring back ideas from young leaders around the world. We were inspired. We knew we wanted to do something, to change something, and to take on something meaningful, but specifically within healthcare, being the industry in which we both work. So following the summit, we returned knowing we had to turn ideas into action. So we ultimately took a group of 50 young individuals and formed the UK Youth Health Parliament. Now, we knew we had to take this from being an internal to an external initiative. And to do this, we needed to partner with other organizations, such as Google, the British Heart Foundation, London Business School, Imperial College London, just to name a few of the partners. And the 50 young people that we brought together were from a range of different backgrounds. We had doctors and nurses, academics and politicians, think tanks, charities and non-profits. We asked them to identify what they felt were the 5 most important areas for the future of healthcare. And these consisted of mental health, personalized medicine and genomics, innovation in the National Health Service, and how the NHS must start to think more like a startup, handing back control and reducing demand through patient empowerment, and securing our health system for the future. So, over the course of 12 months, the groups researched, published, and ultimately delivered their health policy white papers to a group of British MPs and government ministers at the Houses of Parliament in Westminster, London.
So, rewind back to Dublin. Lewis and I were sat in the audience, much like yourselves today. We were inspired to do something. We knew that we had to, and we had responsibility to. But honestly, we had no idea what it was we were going to do. And we didn't even know how we were going to figure how to do that. But what we learned through this journey is that you don't need all the answers at the beginning. You don't need the perfect roadmap to succeed. But what you do need to do is be very clear and ask yourself some very good questions. You need to understand what it is that you're passionate about and why, because it's the why that's going to drive you to be successful and deliver your meaningful initiative. You need to understand what the purpose of your company is, because when you understand what the passion of the company is, then you can find where your passion intersects with the company passion, and that's the sweet spot. That's the bit where things really, really get good. Many of you today were sent here by your organizations because you're the best young leaders that they have. Now think about that for a second. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty powerful, privileged position to be in. And the reality is it would be easy to go home, have a wonderful conference, but not take action. What we say is please, please don't do nothing. Please go and take this opportunity and use it to do something meaningful.
So, as Ben said, don't feel you have to go it alone either. As Ben said, find your why. If you can clearly articulate why you're trying to achieve something, you'll be surprised at the amount of people that emerge from the woodwork willing to offer their support to help. And don't just wait for permission to act, because it may never come. The action's in your hands, so take it and then ask questions and learn along the way. And if we had one final thought to leave you with, imagine if each of us here today started something positive as a result of having attended One Young World. Imagine if we could leverage the scale of the hundreds of organizations represented in this room today. And just imagine the kind of impact that might have across the world. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.